starts and never ends. Tune in, lean and feel the groove. Every moment, a vibe you can't lose. It's for the culture, by the culture. Braylon got the soul to show you. Breaking it down, lifting it higher. Feel the rhythm, spark the fire. Hear the whispers in the city's hum. Echoes of stories where we're from. A beat, a step, a voice so clear. The pulse of us, it's all right here. We got soul, we got flavor. Every moment is a savior. Every experience is an overcomer. Turn it up.
Well, hello to you, and you. Welcome in, my lord, to another edition of Brainley's virtual tour live. Glad to have all you here in the building with me. You know, if you get mad over your own words, that's a you problem. Child, Ticket TV upset with me because I quoted him. Y'all, I'll come on camera and tell y'all about it. We are here talking about the Golden Globes. The Hollywood Foreign Press Association is suing Penske Media Group for $150 million. We got some things to talk about, so let's get to it. Because higher is waiting, low is available. But either way, we got to go on tour. Yes, indeed, we do. Let me take down this iconic intro here. You see that virtual tour background? Yes, you do. You hear that virtual tour music? Yes, you do. And then there is me. Hey, everybody. Welcome in. Glad to have you here. Now, before we get started, Ticket TV's upset with me because I utilized his own words against him. Now, he's talking about this Nolan Wells case and Bart going to sue, people who say that he did, that he deleted Nolan Wells, right? Here's the thing. That's a lot of people to sue for one. Number two, your name was in the call. And number three, Ticket TV is not a lawyer. He said, and I quote, these people on the internet are not professional. All I said was, you're also on the internet. Don't get mad at me because I have intelligence and you didn't have any coming out of your mother's vagina. In addition to that, okay. I just gotta show y'all. Right? So I'm gonna just show y'all real quick, okay? Now you get notifications if people like your comment. Look at this. You want to talk about favoritism or grace when you favorite Tasha K all the time. Okay, child, you know how many people like that? Nine likes, right? Oh my God. I'm just like, bruh, don't get mad because somebody said the quiet part out loud about you. And then here's Ticket TV, man. Two people liked it. That means what I said wasn't crazy. Bruh, don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. Do not get mad at me because you lack brain cells to form a brain. Now, with that being said, let's get to what we are doing over here, okay? It's time to talk about the Golden Globes. Here we go, y'all. From the Associated Press, former Golden Globes owners sue Penske Media alleging fraud and acquisition of award show. Okay, here we go. My way, if what I'm saying ain't true, Ticket TV and Beth Bean Boo, be honest, let it fly. But if you let it fly, it must apply, child. Los Angeles, California, members of the Hollywood Foreign Press, which founded and for decades owned the Golden Globes, have sued Penske Media Corporation and others, alleging they engaged in fraud to acquire the most valuable award show in an attempt to create an entertainment industry monopoly. The lawsuit filed in federal court in California on Tuesday alleges that Penske Media and owner Jay Penske colluded with holding company Elrich Industries and its CEO Todd Bowenly to fuel a backlash and boycott against the Globes to devalue it and acquire it, and to deceive Hollywood Foreign Press Association about a sale that they were pressured into accepting. This case arises from a clandestine scheme to fraudulently acquire the prestigious and invaluable 80-year-old Golden Globe Award, the lawsuit says, and exert monopolistic control over the Hollywood trades, awards, and advertising markets, all in violation of state and federal unfair competition and antitrust laws. It alleges that Bowenly and Elrich hid their involvement of Penske in the 2023 deal from the Hollywood Foreign Press Association Board, which never would have approved it if they had known about Penske's media assets, including Variety, Deadline, Hollywood Reporter, Rolling Stone, Billboard, and Dick Clark Productions, which owns or produces several award shows, including the American Music Awards, is now part owner of the Globes. The lawsuit says the Hollywood Foreign Press Association members were promised lifetime Golden Globes tickets and voting privileges, along with the perks, which Penske reneged on by attaching unworkable conditions. And it says the buyers infiltrated Hollywood Foreign Press Association leadership to push through the deal. A representative of the Golden Globes' current owner said in a statement that the lawsuit continues the absurdity and irrationality that the industry has come to expect from the defunct organization formerly known as the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. The Golden Globes, long treasured as a glitzy champagne-soaked opening of Hollywood's award season, has had a turbulent 2020s full of lawsuits and public controversies. In 2021, a Los Angeles Times investigation revealed that the group only had one black member. That brought a public outcry and boycott that led NBC to refusing to air the awards in 2022. The lawsuit claims that Bowenly and Penske serendipitously instigated the boycott and used Penske's publications to fuel it. After the 2023 acquisition and reorganization of the Globes, the show got a new broadcast home on CBS. Bowenly, who is also part owner of sports franchises including Chelsea Football Club and the Los Angeles Dodgers, was not named as a defendant, nor was his Elrich Industries. The reasons were not immediately clear, and the plaintiffs declined to comment. There was also no immediate reply to seeking an email seeking comment from Bowenly and his company. The lawsuit also alleges that Penske and Bowenly manipulate and misuse California's nonprofit laws. It says the Golden Globe Foundation, established as the successor to the Hollywood Foreign Press Association's philanthropic arm, was used to drive down the price of the acquisition, and that functions as a de facto extension of the for-profit entity established by Penske, Bowenly, and Globes LLC. This latest act of duplicity is a new low even for the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. The Golden Globe statement said in response to the attempt by former Hollywood Foreign Press Association members to leverage the Golden Globe Foundation, an independent nonprofit, simply to secure Golden Globes tickets. It's an unfortunate distraction that inappropriately diverts resources from legitimate charitable causes. The statement adds, we remain troubled that the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, an organization so widely criticized for ethical failures, non-inclusivity, racism, and misconduct involving talent, continues to find attorneys willing to push such illegitimate claims. The lawsuit seeks at least $150 million in damages and asks the court to cancel the agreement to dissolve the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. Good damn. Good damn, good damn, good damn, good damn. So what do I think about this? First of all, when I first saw this, I'm like, oh, this could be a monster because $150 million. $150 million. $150 million. That's a big price tag, right? But also, too, the Penske Media Group having a monopoly on the award show season, I don't think that's crazy. Now, let me show you. There we go. And I just want you to see their brands, okay? Just want you to see the brands that they got. I know how technology is. Give it a moment. Oh, now technology wants to work. Ain't that something? Okay. Okay, so here is all the brands right here. You ready? Here we go. Billboard covers music. Art News covers art. Variety, Women's Wear Daily, right? You have Art in America, The Hollywood Reporter, Billboard charts, Golden Globes, Footwear News, Dick Clark Productions, Art Forum, American Country Music Awards, Rolling Stone, Dick Clark's New Year's Rocket Eve, Ryan Seacrest, American Music Awards, Rob Report, South by Southwest, the American Pavilion, Billboard Music Awards. I think that's that's Megan Thee Stallion, child. Lord Jesus, help me. Illuminate, Vibe Magazine, IndieWire, She Knows, Stylecaster, She Media, Gold Derby. Sorry, y'all. Gold Derby, So You Think You Can Dance, Deadline.com, Beauty Inc., Penske Owl Sport, Sourcing Journal, Streaming Awards, Life is Beautiful. That's a new festival they just acquired. Land Music Awards, Sports Co., LAC3, LA 3C rather, Flow Space, Southwest by Southwest London. So all these brands, right? Now, I'm going to show you how this could make sense, right? Variety, The Hollywood Reporter, Rolling Stone, not so much Vibe, Deadline, and the Gold Derby. Those publications, they promote the Hollywood industry, right? So if you, right, and of course, for award show season, music is a huge category at award shows, right? So you got the Billboard charts, right? You also have Billboard, right? And the Billboard charts are different than Billboard, music magazine, right? But if you put the biggest artists from your coverage on Dick Clark's New Year's Rocket Eve, and you're utilizing the American Music Awards, right, to dictate the music industry, and Rolling Stone covers music, you see. Of course, the Billboard Music Awards there. And then Gold Derby, all they talk about is the award show season. So I'm not saying that the Hollywood Foreign Press Association is off by any stretch. Now, do I believe they deserve $150 million? We're going to have to get into the paperwork and see. If anything, maybe 20 million. But also, too, why would you sue for lifetime tickets? That's a little much. Now, if that was promised to them, right? Now let's go back to the article here. The article, as I like to say. Um, yes. So right here, they were promised lifetime Golden Globes tickets and voting privileges along with other perks. Now, if that was promised to them, then okay, I can see why they're going after Penske Media Group. But that should have been worked out in the deal, right? So, I mean, y'all should be all rich enough to be able to go to the Golden Globes. I mean, I don't think you can pay for Golden Globes tickets. It's an invite only thing, right? I can't just show up at the Golden Globes. The only way I could really show up is if I, did a media credential pass and, sent my YouTube channel and sent why I was going to cover this, that, and third. And then I got proof. That's about the only way you can actually get in the door as media. Content creators is still a new category in mainstream Hollywood, right? So I do have the lawsuit. That's 113 pages. We ain't going over all these pages, damn, okay? We're not. So, but we're just, as you can see, 20 different things here, okay? And they are demanding for a jury trial, okay? That's what they're doing. Oh, Lord. Okay, so here we go. This case arises from a clandestine scheme to fraudulently acquire the prestigious and valuable 80-year-old Golden Globe Awards, where the Golden Globes destroyed their founder and former owner, the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, and exert monopolistic control over the Hollywood trades, awards, and advertising markets, all in violation of state, federal, and federal unfair competition antitrust laws. The scheme was and continues to be perpetrated in part through the misuse of a California nonprofit organization, the Golden Globes Foundation, which serves as a vehicle to further the illegal anti-competitive conduct. Like the infamous Edison Trust that spawned the dawn of Hollywood in the early 20th century, this modern-day trust is operate with a brazenness to consolidate market power and stifle competition. The trust is orchestrated and controlled by defendant Penske and his billionaire associate Todd Boehly, who have leveraged their influence to dominate the industry. While the public may be aware of their outsized presence in Hollywood, what has remained obscured until now is the corrupt, anti-competitive manner by which they acquire one of the most valuable assets of the Golden Globes. This acquisition exemplifies Penske's and Boehly's willful exclusionary conduct aimed at profiteering, maintaining their monopoly power, harming competition, stifling innovation, and injuring the public interest. Penske, through defendant Penske Media, has established an anti-competitive trust in the entertainment awards market, wherein he owns and or controls at least half a dozen major award shows, almost all the major Hollywood trade publications that sell the advertising packages for award contestants, while covering and heavily influencing the awards circuit. The company that controls the market predicted winners for those shows, and the data company that measures statistics for award eligibility. But that wasn't enough for Penske. On information and belief, beginning in or around 2021, Penske colluded with Boehly to purchase one of the major film and television awards, the Golden Globes, through a corrupt asset purchase agreement, APA, and at the same time dismantled the organization that founded those awards in 1944 and had owned them ever since, the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, on an effort to further cement, control, and eliminate competition. In doing so, Penske and Boehly, who through their commercial enterprises also have substantial ownership interests in major film and television production companies such as A24 Films, LLC, and Media Rights Capital. Those are some very big, heavy hitters, right? So, if you owned A24 or Media Rights Capital and you need promotion, just call up Variety, just call up Deadline, just call up the Reporter, right? Just call up Gold Derby to give that promotion, and all the promotion can stay in-house, right? So, I'm just giving an example. I'm not saying that they're doing that, but that is an example. Would not only solidify a vertical or horizontal monopoly on the awards market, but will also effectively position themselves to control and exclude members of the domestic and foreign press, and ultimately control the entertainment news disseminated to the general public, or maintain monopoly over streams of advertising revenue in that market. Now, I want to show you something. Right here. Yep. This is what I want to show you. Dick Clark Productions. Okay, it should be some words right here. I don't know why it's not showing up for us. But give me a moment because I want to show y'all something with Dick Clark Productions. Give me a moment. So here is Dick Clark Productions, right? So you have Golden Globes, Latin American Music Awards, Rising Stars Country, So You Think You Can Dance, Academy of Country Music Awards, American Bandstand, American Music Awards, Primos Billboard de la Música Latina, Billboard Music Awards. Yes, that is the Fountains of the Bellagio. Dick Clark's New Year's Rocket Eve with Ryan Seacrest, Golden Eve, which Golden Eve seems new to me. Viola Davis looking scrumdiddlyumptious, my Lord Jesus. The husband is a blessed man. And the Golden Globe. So they have had this production company's been around for a very long time. Dick Clark passed away, right? And so back in the day, they sold it to Penske Media Group. So give me a moment, because like I said, if you understand the moves that are happening around you, you'll understand what you're seeing in front of you. It's not showing up on the website. Give me a moment. So right here, look at this. This came out January 25th, 2023. So the deal brings top unscripted content producer into the parent company of Variety, Rolling Stone, and other top media brands, right? Penske Media Group Elridge acquires Dick Clark Productions in major expansion. Penske Media Elridge has acquired Dick Clark Productions in a deal that marks major expansion for the parent company of Variety, Rolling Stone, Billboard, and other top media brands. Financial details of the deal with Todd Bonley's Elridge Industries was not disclosed, right? I have long admired Dick Clark Productions' portfolio of iconic and prominent live entertainment brands. Look forward to growing and evolving Dick Clark Productions' footprint and legacy of future audiences across all platforms, right? So the live events that they have includes the South by Southwest and ATX festivals in Austin, Texas, Life is Beautiful, and the LA3C Music and Culture Festival that has inaugural outing in Los Angeles in December. And content creator. So there is something happening. Okay, just want you guys to see this. Right here, the Hollywood Report and Access Media team up for groundbreaking career economy conference in Los Angeles. The inaugural up next. The career IP market will bring digital creators, studio streamers, brands, and buyers under one roof for deal making and discussions in October of 2026. Now, if this is sorry, I'm trying to take my socks off. Now, if this is sounding like the Real Screen Summit and NAPT, that's because it is. NAPT is where the world of every TV network, every production company, every studio came through to not only showcase what they had to sell, but they also were looking to collaborate, right? Real Screen is the platform for all unscripted content, okay? So those two events will no longer be around. Sadly, I'm surprised Penske Media Group did not pick up those, right? The first of its kind event market will offer global development ready digital content producers a bridge to major studios, streamers, broadcasters, talent agencies, digital platforms, production companies, brands, and buyers, in addition to curate deal-making opportunities and industry networking. The Up Next Marketplace will feature keynote conversations, career showcases, live IP presentations, exclusive editorial program from the Hollywood Reports. This is another event that will be happening. Now, as of right now, there's really not anything new with this, right? So just sorry. But I wanted to show y'all that because, like I always say, if you understand the moves that are happening around you, you'll understand what you're seeing in front of you. If you understand the moves that are happening around you, you'll understand what you're seeing in front of you. If you understand the moves that are happening around you, you'll understand what you're seeing in front of you. So when you think about all of these, different platforms, right? It does feel like it's a monopoly of being able to have all of these award shows and these platforms to be able to cover the Hollywood season and to have a very huge say so in the dictation of how this should go, right? So just wanted to say that there. Just trying to look. Anything there? No, there's nothing. All right, cool. Moving on, let's get back to the lawsuit here. Right here on information and belief as a part of their scheme in or around February 2021, Boehly and Penske serendipitously instigated a boycott of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association and the 2022 Golden Globes, the boycott, right? Boehly and Penske used Penske's Hollywood trade publications, in which Boehly already had an indirect interest, including Variety and Hollywood Report, to promote and support the boycott. Well, here's the thing, right? During that time, the Hollywood Foreign Press Association only had one black person in it, right? Now, any journalistic or any journalism outlet and platform organization is supposed to remain neutral, right? You're supposed to. Now, are there people who do opinion pieces? Sure, right? But those opinion pieces have to be approved, right? Unless you're Roger Ebert and you got your own platform and you just do what you want to do when you want to do it, how you want to do it, right? That boycott would then become the pretext for Boehly to infiltrate the Hollywood Foreign Press Association and acquire the Golden Globes. Now, do I believe that from this point, that because they said, hey, we should not support the boycott, that created the environment where, Penske Media Group and Boehly utilize their platform of being able to promote this to get in the door and buy it? It's plausible. But in the same token, like you guys said, I don't think they own the Rap actually. They own the Hollywood Reporter, Variety, Deadline, and Gold Derby, right? So I would think that there's a report from each one of those and you guys accepted them into the organization, right? So Penske is no stranger to this sort of anti-competitive conduct. In fact, reports indicate that or around the time of the boycott, Penske was instigating derogatory press about his competitors at rival trade publications in an effort to further consolidate his stranglehold on the market. So then Boehly will become chief executive officer of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. And within the following year, Penske and Boehly would jointly own the Golden Globes. To accomplish this, Bobby enlisted then Hollywood Foreign Press Association Helen Hoichi, who is currently the president of Boehly and Penske's new for-profit company, Golden Globes LLC, Elrich Globes LLC, to facilitate their efforts to acquire the Golden Globes, regardless of what was in the best interest of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association and its members. In 2022, Hoichi, enticed by the prospect of a prominent role in Penske and Boehly's media empire, a substantial pay raise, which Penske and Boehly delivered, worked in tandem with Boehly to advance a markedly corrupt purchase process that allowed Boehly's company, Elrich Industries LLC, to purchase the Golden Globes. Now, if she was in charge of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, right? Was there not any meetings to decide if the Hollywood Foreign Press Association wanted this deal to happen? Because yes, she's the president, but isn't there a process to like have meetings and hearings before you do a big decision like this? I would think so. I would think so. In or around January 2023, Penske and Bonley formed a joint media venture between Penske Media and Elrich, named Penske Media. Elrich, which then acquired Dick Clark Productions, which I just showed y'all that. Dick Clark Productions immediately thereafter assumed control of the Golden Globes, with Penske in charge of its operations. I mean, Dick Clark Productions, is one of the biggest production companies, so of course they would probably be the best ones to do it. When I first saw Dick Clark Productions, I am very surprised that ABC didn't try to go after that, because the American Music Awards aired on ABC, right, for a while. The American Music Awards aired on ABC for a while. And that was created because of the Grammys, right? But the Grammys are coming over to ABC in, I think, 2028, if I'm not mistaken, right? So you have that. Oh, no, I think it's 2027. Either way, let me see. Sorry, I'm scratching my back. When is the Grammys coming to ABC?
Grammy Awards will be on ABC starting Sunday, February 7th, 2027. This will be the first time the show has been on that network since 1972.
Thank you very much. So basically next year, the Grammys will be live on ABC in a 10-year deal with the Grammys organization, right? The Recording Academy. So yeah, I'm surprised that ABC or some network didn't pick it up. I think NBC aired it for a good while on Peacock. Now it's on CBS and through Paramount Plus. But yeah, this is just, excuse me, sorry y'all. This is just very interesting to me that because of all this, now we have a lawsuit because of the way it was bought. But since it was bought, it's been running smoothly. So Penske Media Group is probably looking like, well, y'all accepted us, right? So at every turn, Holtze, Goker, and Bonley endeavored to ensure that Elrich would succeed in the effort to purchase the Golden Globes at a bargain, including obstructing competing offers, making false promises to Hollywood Foreign Press Association members to induce their refraction of the transaction, and improperly amending the resulting APA to deprive the Hollywood Foreign Press Association more than $25 million in promised consideration. Holtze and Bonley used bait and switch tactics to procure unconscionable contract that ultimately turned on supplementary take it or leave it agreements drafted unilaterally by Elrich. The Hollywood Foreign Press Association members, majority of whom did not speak English as a first language, had less than 10 days to review the 400-page plus contract. But now, wait a minute, hang on a second. How can you give somebody a 400-plus page contract and expect them to read it in 10 days? I know you mother lie. That might as well be a huge study session. Okay, you take 10 pages, you give your summary, then you take 10 pages. So 10, 20, 30, 40. So you need 40 groups of 5 to each read those pages and then understand it. What the hell? That wasn't cool. When members were asked for additional time, acting at Bonley's discretion against the express advice of Hollywood Foreign Press Association's outside counsel, refused to grant the additional time, pushing the contract through, ignoring the concerns of the confused constituents. Bonley and Elrich actively concealed from the Hollywood Foreign Press Association and the public Penske involvement in the acquisition of the Golden Globes, because Penske Media already possessed a monopoly on the Hollywood trades and significant portfolio of award shows. Members of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, an organization whose purposes including preserving and promoting foreign journalism's connection to domestic film and awards, in part through participation in outlets and ventures rather than directly compete with Penske's business would never have approved, would never have been approved, rather, if the APA the would have never approved the APA, rather, sorry, if they knew Penske was involved. For information and belief, Penske and Boeing were aware of this resistance. And although they fully intended for Penske to be a co-owner of the Golden Globes well before the APA vote, they deliberately concealed Penske's involvement in the acquisition until after the APA was approved. Now, see, here's the thing, right? If you are trying to do a business deal, right? Let's just say, for example, right? Braylon Lee's virtual tour live, right? Let's just say that Braylon Lee's virtual tour live is going to be airing on I would have to sign an NDA and could not tell y'all, right, that Braylon Lee's virtual tour is going to be on 5 nights a week on Stars, right? But in the contract negotiations, everybody has to say who they are in this contract that we are creating for me to come to Stars, right? So Stars would have to be in the document. It would have to be made public to all parties involved. Now, the public would not know about this deal until something like this would come up, right? But yeah, so I just wanted to give some context, conjecture, and connection on that. Let's see here. Just 3 months after the APA was signed, Penske emerged, assumed complete control of the Golden Globes with Hollywood Foreign Press members, with the Hollywood Foreign Press Association member, with the Hollywood Foreign Press Association members informed that he would be running operations going forward. At that point, all that was left to obtain regulatory approval of the APA was only Penske to dissolve the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, thereby avoiding discovery of the myriad facts about feasance underlying the transaction. So let's just say, right? Let's go back to Penske Media. Let's just say at the Golden Globes, right? In the media row, Variety, The Hollywood Reporter, Billboard so they do cover TV and film, but they're more music. Follow the Bouncing Ball, Rolling Stone, Deadline, and Gold Derby, right? They would get preferential treatment on the carpet. While the other trade publications, The Wrap, Vibe Magazine, I know what you think, but Vibe Magazine is inside Penske Media Group. We all know that black outlets don't get treated the same as predominantly white outlets, right? So if you own the Golden Globes, you're going to push your media organizations to get the best coverage and everybody else gets the scraps, right? That is a monopoly, right? And like I said, I'm being very fair, even keel, and down the middle with this. I'm just reading the facts as they are. Excuse me, y'all. Sorry. Under California laws governing nonprofit organizations, Penske and Boeing lease for-profit entities cannot receive all of Hollywood Foreign Press Association's assets, and any transaction involving the transfer of those assets will require approval by the California Attorney General. To overcome these hurdles and fortify Penske and Boeing's unlawful scheme, the nonprofit Golden Globes Foundation was formed as a successor to the Hollywood Foreign Press Association's philanthropic arm. The APA then provided that upon dissolution, the Hollywood Foreign Press Association would assign all of its assets to the Golden Globes Foundation, and the consideration paid by Elrich for purchasing the Golden Globes will be ultimately paid to the Golden Globes Foundation. So it says here, the lawyers executing the transaction told the Attorney General that Elrich would pay approximately $44 million in cash to the Golden Globes Foundation, but that, like so much else related to the APA, turned out to be a lie. Only through his co-conspirators, Holtze, who was still the Hollywood Foreign Press Association's president at the time, and defendant Gawker, who was still the Hollywood Foreign Press Association's general counsel and chief operating officer, illegally and surreptitiously amended the APA without member approval to deprive the Hollywood Foreign Press Association of $27.5 million of that price consideration. As a result, Elrich only paid $20 million to the Golden Globes Foundation for the purchase of the Golden Globes. Gawker breached his fiduciary duties to the Hollywood Foreign Press Association to facilitate this unlawful conversation. In doing so, solidified himself as one who would put his own personal interests ahead of Penske, Penske, and Bowley over those of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. It would not be the last time that Gawker would do Penske and Bowley's bidding. Wow. Give me one moment, y'all. Give me one moment. One moment. Hello, I'm back. Good to see y'all. All right, let's keep going. On information and belief that Gawker had dreamed for more than a decade of becoming the CEO of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, but that role was denied. To him when Gawker was finally presented with the opportunity to get his dream job through the Golden Globes Foundation. His sole focus became doing whatever he had to do to secure that role, even when it meant betraying his own colleagues and clients at the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, as well as ethical duties as an attorney. Oh my God. So, to achieve this, Gawker worked hand in hand with Helene, hastily ramified through a resolution that will ultimately culminate in an assignment and assumption agreement, transferring virtually all Hollywood Foreign Press Association assets to the Golden Globes Foundation in advance of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association's dissolution. The assignment moved directly contrary to the Hollywood Foreign Press Association's interest. In frustration of that goal, however, Hollywood Foreign Press Association's board directors the board voted to withhold $5 million reserve and defer transferring any remainder of that reserve until Hollywood Foreign Press Association's ultimate dissolution. So, like I said, if we see here, right, this includes attempting to use more than $275,000 of charitable funds for the for-profit Golden Globes LLC Golden Globes viewing party. Now, I'm gonna just be real with you. As a nonprofit, everything has to be for charity. You cannot do a for-profit event. If you do like a Golden Globes watch party, that has to be because you're raising funds for the Golden Globes Foundation for the Golden Globes Scholarship, right? So, as you can see right here, they would pay $44 million in cash to the Golden Globes Foundation, but they want at least $5 million to be transferred and paid, and then the other payments will go, because that's basically just saying, hey, can we trust you with at least $5 million? I said, this is my interpretation, y'all. Okay, I could be completely wrong in everything I'm saying. Oh Lord, with misconduct allegations surfacing, this reserve represented the Hollywood Foreign Press Association's lifeline, funds needed to wind down ethically to investigate the brewing scandal, as the organization was required to do so under California law. My God. Gawker successfully induced the Hollywood Foreign Press Association's treasurer, reasonably relied on Gawker's good faith and professed goal of protecting the Hollywood Foreign Press Association's financial interests to transfer approximately $4 million from the protected reserve to the Golden Globes Foundation. Wow. On information and belief, when the Hollywood Foreign Press Association requested the return of the misappropriated funds, signed the need to investigate the circumstances of the APA and defend itself in a confidential matter relating to the APA, Gawker unleashed a campaign of intimidation and lies threatening Golden Globes Foundation personnel, board members of personal liability, and retaliatory lawsuits from co-conspirators, Penske and Boeing's corporate network, and falsely claiming that the AG opposed returning the funds, all to ensure that the stolen money will remain beyond the Hollywood Foreign Press Association reach. So even though there were things done in agreement to make sure that the Hollywood Foreign Press Association had their stuff together and they were protected, this Gawker guy said, no, I'm going to utilize this media network, and this is all legend, I'm going to utilize this media network to put y'all into submission. Because if we don't, then we can make a story in Variety, Deadline, The Howard Reporter about how you are not being responsible, accountable, and tactful in what you need to do. Penske and Boeing has systematically, now I'm just reading this, y'all, weaponized the Golden Globes Foundation into a vehicle to further their illicit scheme. Our information and belief, Penske and Boeing have personally and or through the corporations made threats and or promises to the GGF to induce cooperation with Boeing and Penske in their efforts to force the Hollywood Foreign Press Association to dissolve, including but not limited to offering licensed intellectual property to the Golden Globes Foundation, inviting Golden Globes Foundation personnel to private meetings at Penske's residence, exclusive venues, offering Golden Globes Foundation members extended Golden Globes voting rights and ballroom seats for award ceremony if they falsely assert that all of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association's claims relating to the APA have been assigned to the Golden Globes Foundation and signed waivers purporting to release those claims and agreed not to assist the Hollywood Foreign Press Association in any way in confidential manner and induce the Hollywood Foreign Press Association to dissolve. Such acts, which the Hollywood Foreign Press Association believes will be further exposed through discovery in this manner, could well constitute illegal witness tampering and obstruction of justice. So this part right here is a little much to me, right? Now, of course, if you are disbanding the organization, then of course the intellectual property would go to the new organization. That's like if I inherited a YouTube channel. I'm going to use Emmanuel Acho, for example. He deleted every single video from Undisputed, which I'm going to just say this. I think that was a dumbass decision. I do. I'm going to tell you why. Because that was sports history, right? And what you should have done is be like, hey, you know what? We can use these clips in our speakeasy content, right? To be able to say, oh, hey, this was a great clip when they talked about the Kansas City Chiefs and the Dallas Cowboys and how this relates to our conversation. That could help build your audience more. If Emmanuel Acho was smart, right? Not saying he's not smart, but that wasn't the smartest move. With this, though, right? Golden Globes Foundation personnel for private means of Penske's residence and exclusive venues. Now, do nonprofits have, meetings at their boardroom, at their headquarters? Yes. Do they have meetings at other places? Absolutely. Private residences, though, that I don't know. I don't know of not one nonprofit. That would be like the Make-A-Wish board of directors going over to the president of Make-A-Wish Foundation's house. I just don't think that happens. To date, Penske and Boley have successfully carried out their scheme, and Penske has obtained monopolies in at least three relevant markets, as for defined here in Hollywood Trade Publications, secondary awards, and the 4-year consideration advertising. So when you see the 4-year consideration, that is usually to Hollywood is like, hey, for your consideration, look at the show, and we'll tell you why you need to consider this for a particular award. Collectively, the relevant markets through Penske's Trust, Penske and Boley have taken conservative measures to exclude Howard Foreign Press Association and its members from these markets, to deprive the Howard Foreign Press Association and its members of business opportunities and their ability to protect and promote the interests of foreign journalists, and reduce competitive output in favor of journalists who work for Penske's Trust. Penske and Boley have used their monopolies and competitive conduct to obtain unfair advantages in the relevant markets by, among other things, one, structuring awards that matter that excludes from the market anyone who can or will not purchase for your consideration advertisements through Penske's trades. Number two, controlling the market for those advertisements through their monopoly on the Hollywood Trade Publications that issue the 4-year consideration packages. Three, implementing pay-to-play mechanisms or SOPRA, competitive prices that enrich defendants while inhibiting access to and fairness of award shows. Number four, using their monopoly on Hollywood Trade Publications to properly influence the award circuit. Five, inducing journalists to withdraw from participation in competing awards programs. So, like the Critics' Choice Awards, right? They would try to make journalists withdraw from participating in the Critics' Choice Awards, or if it was the Brain Lee Virtual Tour Entertainment Awards, they would try to make people not participate in that. Number six, ensure that their own film supplement programs and other content produced by A24 and MRC receive top awards. Seven, using Penske's data company to serve as gatekeeper for award consideration. And eight, using Penske Award Prediction Company, which I believe is Gold Derby, to dominate the market on award show odds making and further exert proper influence on the awards circuit. Penske and Boley are also unlawfully restraining trade and chilling competition, including by excluding journalists not often associated with Penske's trades from access to the awards circuit, and taking measures to silence journalists who report critically on their unlawful trust. For example, at the 2026 Golden Globes this year, right, journalists who were granted exclusive access in prior years were turned away completely, and exclusive access was instead granted to journalists from Penske's trades. Now, you cannot do that. If you have applied for a media pass and you get approved, you get that media pass. Now, of course, maybe if you can't make it, this, that, and the third, then your press pass can be good. Or if you can get somebody to jump on a plane and get there, then that can happen too. But to give everybody in Hollywood access and then turn away everybody from that access, right, and just give it to your own people, that's not a rising tide that lifts all boats, right? Journalists have reported that Penske's Trust has created a climate of fear in which members of the press are afraid to compete with Penske and Boley, or to speak truthfully about their corruption for fear of being blacklisted or retaliation. Penske and Boley could not have succeeded with their scheme and achieved their monopolies without the assistance of the co-conspirators, Gawker and Hoini, who both reaped significant personal financial benefits and rewards for their malfeasance and breach of fiduciary duties. Hoini is now the president of Globes LLC, where she enjoys significantly higher compensation and enhanced lifestyle compared to her previous role leading the nonprofit Hollywood Foreign Press Association. Gawker is now the CEO of the Golden Globes Foundation, earning over $300,000 annually and achieving his long-held career aspiration. My God. Indeed, just days before filing this complaint, Penske and Boley, through their corporate enterprises, formally offered Golden Globes Foundation members extended Golden Globes voting rights and ballroom seats at the Golden Globes, but expressly said that those benefits were contingent on, among other things, the Howard Foreign Press Association dissolving and the Golden Globes Foundation formally assisting Penske and Boley to make that happen. Ooh, Lord. I'm I'm just showing y'all everything here. I'm not reading all 100 pages. I'm just showing you what needs to be. Okay. So of course you have the Hollywood Reporter, right? Variety Media, Deadline Hollywood, IndieWire Media. Oh, that's right, IndieWire. They produce content about independent content, independent films and TV shows, right? Rolling Stone, of course, Billboard Media, Dick Clark Productions, MRC, Media Rights Capital, and A24. So for those of you who don't know, the Hollywood Foreign Press Association was founded in 1943 to promote education and artistry related to TV and film, and to use those media to establish favorable relations, cultural ties between foreign countries and the United States of America, particularly through the work and dedication of foreign journalists and photographers. So the Hollywood Foreign Press Association's other objectives include, among other things, 1, to promote interest in the study of the arts; 2, recognize outstanding achievements by conferring annual awards; 3, advance knowledge and appreciation of drama and classical, artistic, musical, and literary tradition; 4, provide support facilities for education and instruction in the arts of motion picture related disciplines; 5, establish favorable relations, cultural ties between foreign countries and the United States of America by the exhibition of motion pictures and other mediums of the foreign countries in the United States of America, and the dissemination of information in various foreign countries about culture and traditions of the United States of America. 6, stimulate, promote, and develop interest in the motion picture, television, dramatic, musical, and comedy theater, and audio visual recording, art forms, and arts throughout the United States of America and foreign countries. And 7, advance and broaden the national culture by exposing the American public to the cultures of foreign countries by the exhibition of motion pictures, television programs, dramatic, musical, comedy theater productions, and audio visual recordings. So, due to the campaign, right, because they did not have diversity, they only had like one person, right? Apparently, Penske and Boldly participated in a media campaign that disparaged and criticized the Hollywood Foreign Press Association and accused the organization of, among other things, lacking diversity. The Hollywood Foreign Press Association faced an industry-wide boycott, in which key players, including film and television studios, actors, producers, publicists, and other industry stakeholders, refused to broadcast, promote, or participate in the Golden Globes or otherwise associate with the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. For information and belief, Penske and Boldly directly instigated the boycott as part of a scheme to weaken the value of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association and render it ripe for acquisition. As a result of the boycott, the Hollywood Foreign Press Association lost out on a number of media opportunities on which it had previously built its business, with the main impact being the cancellation of the broadcast of the 2022 Golden Globes award ceremony that had been scheduled to take place in January 2022. My God. In the summer of 2021, Hollywood Foreign Press Association was making strides towards repairing the organization's reputation and ending the boycott. Members were endeavoring to meet with studios, some of which were encouraged to learn that the Hollywood Foreign Press Association has new bylaws, but nevertheless, we're waiting for the organization to announce a new full-time CEO before agreeing to meet with members to discuss a potential end to the boycott. Days before the Hollywood Foreign Press Association was scheduled to make that announcement, Boeing abruptly pulled the plug and told members that the Hollywood Foreign Press Association would not be announcing a new full-time CEO. Oh, man. Two days later, instead, September 29th, 2021, Bowen became interim CEO of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. 2 days later, Hoeing asked members to cease their outreach efforts and advised Bowen was going to take lead on discussions with Publicist Studios and NBC. Hoeing continued to insist that Bowen be in charge of these meetings, even after companies like Warner Bros. Discovery expressly told her that they were uncomfortable meeting Bowen, given his significant financial interest in the Golden Globes. So Warner Bros. Discovery felt a way about this as well, right? Information and belief only and only intentionally impeded Hollywood Foreign Press Association's members to end the boycott with the aim of continuing to value the Golden Globes and inducing the members to approve an ultimate sale. Wow. Here it is here. Although NBC was contractually obligated to televise 2022 Golden Globes, it would have been liable for up to $30 million for failing to do so. Hone and Bonley decided to release NBC from any claims for breach of contract. Right. Similarly, despite MRC's contractual obligation to produce 2022 Golden Globes, Bonley's company refused to fulfill this commitment. Okay. Bonley had controlled ownership interests in Media Rights Capital until on or around August 5th, 2022. Wow. Hone and Bonley facilitate a conflicting and corrupt negotiation bid process. Although Bonley made his first proposal in July 2021, Hollywood Foreign Press Association did not seriously consider Bonley's offer to buy the Golden Globes until 2022, after the 2022 Golden Globes broadcast was canceled. Covington and Burling was hired to review and negotiate Bonley's proposal on the Hollywood Foreign Press Association's behalf. Right here, not only was the special committee created months after Bonley made his first proposal, having acting as interim CEO, giving him access to financial documents and information to which other prospective purchasers had never had access. The main reason behind forming the special committee was to exclude from the process members of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association who were pushing back against the prospect of Bonley acquiring the Golden Globes. For months, Hone had been retaliating against these members by, among other things, threatening to withhold compensation, asking said members to resign, requesting that members who define her will be disinvited or not invited to events, and spreading rumors about said members. So they created a special committee as a shield to just bypass all the laws that have been made. Oh my God, there's a lot of just collusion here. Jesus. So there were other suitors and campaigns for buying the Golden Globes, but these two basically stopped this happening, including one potential purchaser, Pacific Coast Entertainment. Right here, Hone and the special committee were aware that although Pacific Coast Entertainment made an offer, Pacific Coast Entertainment's primary concern and the reason for certain contingencies in its offer was a lack of transparency with respect to the Hollywood Foreign Press Association's most valuable asset, the Golden Globes. Specifically, Pacific Coast Entertainment repeatedly asked for information with respect to the status of negotiations with NBC, the network that aired Golden Globes, and whether Dick Clark Productions or Media Rights Capital have any objections to the transaction. So they were just asking for transparency, accountability, and the energy of being responsible, right? So Pacific Coast Entertainment asked Dick Clark Productions for a means to further attempt to understand the status of NBC's negotiation and impact on potential acquisition. Dick Clark Productions denied that request to meet Pacific Coast Entertainment. And 2 weeks later, it was announced that Bonley was buying Dick Clark Productions outright. So basically, pulling you in, baiting, bang, and switching it up, right? Basically. Wow. This is very interesting. Right here, Hone also declined to afford the Hollywood Foreign Press Association members an adequate opportunity to review the APA. Specifically, members had less than 10 days to review and ratify the 400-plus page APA, were not permitted to print, copy, or download the APA and were instead required to review the lengthy document on electronic pool and frequently timed out during review. Bruh, I see why they're suing. Y'all basically utilized your resources to cancel them ever having a chance to get themselves right. I see it. I see it. Now I'm moving up the money to $50 million. Hollywood Foreign Press Association members sent an email with more time is needed. Home forwarded the email to the Hollywood Foreign Press Association's counsel at Morgan Lewis, who advised Home that request was not reasonable, and that failure to comply with the request would likely become the subject scrutiny if the APA were ever challenged, and that Home should please consider an extension. So right here, this meeting, right, prior to the membership vote from July 13th to July 2022, July 13th to July 22nd of 2022, Bowling Home Special Committee hosted several meetings with the Hollywood Foreign Press Association members to discuss the final terms of the final proposal. In these meetings, members who accepted employment into the new LLC that will be formed to own the Golden Globes were promised at a minimum guaranteed 5-year employment for $75,000 a year, which was anticipated to last longer than 5 years, so long as members perform their obligation to remain in good standing. 2, health, dental, and retirement benefits, and 3, severance pay, which was promised to the equal eligible members' base pay for the remaining portion of their 5-year employment term. Initially, all Hollywood Foreign Press Association members were promised, whether or not they accepted employment with NewCo, lifetime rights to nominate and vote for the Golden Globes, 2, travel to at least 3 film festivals and joking per year, pursuant to an annual travel budget of $2 million, 3, attend press conference opportunities, 4, vote on advisory board members. The board that Elrich promised would be formed to assist with the management for the new profit entity, and credential committee members. The committee review member credentials and reaccredit membership. 5, lifetime tickets to the Golden Globe ceremony, and 6, lifetime membership with the Golden Globes Foundation. So there was a meeting here, right, to discuss the terms of the final proposal. So these things were discussed, right? Holly Boakley, Gokener, and members of the special committee each confirmed these promises to the members multiple times over. The promises were critical to securing sufficient votes in favor of the APA. Although these material promises conferred rights on individual members, they were also made to the organization as a whole. The Hollywood Foreign Press Association would never sold the Golden Globes without securing rights that its central interest is in protecting and promoting foreign press access to be protected. With every one of Bonley Elrich's material promises later broken, the Hollywood Foreign Press Association received nothing in exchange for the severance of its most valuable asset, the Golden Globes, right? Oh my God. On July 28th, 2022, the Hollywood Foreign Press Association membership voted to approve the APA in reliance on the promises made to them and to the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, particularly given their difficulties in accessing, reading, and understanding the agreement, difficulties that were noted locally, Gokener, and the special committee. All right, here, Elrich changed the definition of a qualified Hollywood Foreign Press member eligible to vote for the Golden Globes, where qualified Hollywood Foreign Press Association members were initially defined in the APA version uploaded to DAS site for members' review as each current Hollywood Foreign Press Association member, so long as he or she is in good standing and is not a Critics' Choice Awards voter as of the closing. The definition was altered after to exclude members who refused to accept employment at Bowling and Penske's new for-profit entity. Now, when you're in Hollywood, right, there are many different committees, right? So basically, you had to be a part of this or you didn't get any of the benefits, which is not right, unless you're signing an exclusive 5-year deal. Now, that's different, right? So let's just say, like I said before, Brainley's virtual tour live right here is on Stars. And if I wanted to work with under that 5-year deal, I could not work with Hulu. I would have to finish out my 5-year contract with Stars, and I would have to get approvals to work with others. It's right here. Initially, members had less than 3 weeks to review and accept the employment agreements. When members pushed back, only a 2-week extension was granted. Notwithstanding the fact that material reference in the agreement were not made available to the members. So wait a minute. Y'all wanted them to vote on something, and the material policies referenced in the agreement could be made available to the members. No, that's what it's just saying. Listen, vote on this, and this is all you get, right? Todd would keep his word in a text message to one member. Ultimately, the purported 5-year employment guarantee was a lie. Under the employment agreement, members could be terminated prior to the end of their 5-year term, but only be entitled to a 3-year severance. Yeah, I'm not liking the energy of this. The promise that members would be reimbursed for 3 film festivals per year was also a lie. The employment agreement stated that the company will reimburse reasonable travel and expenses in accordance with the company's travel policy. Travel budgets must be pre-approved by the company, and expense reports must be submitted timely as described by the company's travel policy. However, this policy was never provided to the members before the deadline to sign the employment offer. Elrich also failed to abide by its promises regarding lifetime voting and Golden Globes attendance. Instead, Elrich has instituted conditions that do not confirm lifetime rights and has averted that it never made any promise of attendance rights. All you got to do is just go back through your emails, and if it says in there that Elrich said this, that, and the third, or somebody has some audio, hook, line, and sinker. And so then, of course, they took the amendment and misrepresentations to the Attorney General. And this is crazy. Bowley, Holy, and Gawker sought to amend the APA to allow Elrich to take all the profits from the 2023 Golden Globes, right? This material change to the APA and by extension to the assets of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association resulted in Elrich retaining $27,508,009.06. This means that the $27 million withheld by Elrich for the pre-close of the 2023 Golden Globes, right, for the belongs to the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, and Elrich retained that amount in violation of California law. Adding insult to injury, more than $700,000 of those production costs went to entities Bowley either had owned or had a financial interest in. Multiple representations were made to the AG that the $48 million from the APA proceeds will be paid by Elrich, the charitable foundation, GGF, the Golden Globes Foundation. So instead of making sure that everybody got paid this, that, and the third, she took a $27 million check for one event for herself. Wow. On May 17, 2023, when 6 months after the illegitimate amendment was reportedly approved, the AG advised that it would not object to the APA. The AG wrote to Morgan Lewis saying, with regard to the charitable trust assets we transfer, we have reviewed the information provided, including the representation that the Hollywood Foreign Press Association expects that at least $44 million of the $48 million it will receive from the transaction will be transferred to the new Golden Globes Foundation. So Penske Services assumes control of the Golden Globes. So right here, Bowley's consulting firm Alvarez had by that time already reached out to Penske to explore potential licensing opportunities. First only led efforts to partner with Penske, then newly acquired American Film Pavilion due to the 2022 Cannes Film Festival, explaining that she has spoken with president of Penske's dad about the potential changing the American Pavilion to potential about the potential change to the name to the American Pavilion presented by the Golden Globes. Gawker fraudulently induces the unlawful transfer of assets to the Golden Globes Foundation. Given this vulnerability, both Helene and Gawker had compelling incentives to expedite the complete transfer of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association assets to the Golden Globes Foundation, and to ensure that the Hollywood Foreign Press Association emerged from the transition as institutionally and financially weakened as possible. In January 2024, Gawker and Hoyen almost succeeded in fully depleting the Hollywood Foreign Press Association's assets when the Hollywood Foreign Press Association board, under the leadership and guidance of Gawker and Hoyen, passed a resolution approving the transfer of nearly all remaining Hollywood Foreign Press Association assets to the Golden Globes Foundation. But in that same resolution, the Hollywood Foreign Press Association board also voted to hold back a $5 million reserve, allowing the Hollywood Foreign Press Association to continue its operation to fulfill all legal obligations prior to its dissolution. So because they voted on that, they got to keep that $5 million. But had they just tried to destroy that, they would have also taken that $5 million, that they really would have been depleted. And then right here, in reliance on Gawker's misrepresentations, the treasurer transferred $3 million pursuant to Gawker's instructions to divide that sum across 6 transfers: $500,000 on or around July 30th, 2024, another $500,000 on July 31st, 2024, $500,000 on August 1st, 2024, $500,000 on or around August 2nd, August 5th, another $500,000, August 6th, another $500,000. At or around the same time, Gawker also fraudulently induced the treasurer to further deplete the reserve by transferring an additional sum of approximately $1 million to the Golden Globes Foundation for payment of Hollywood Foreign Press Association's obligations to law firms and other expenses. Then Gawker and her friends Hollywood Golden Globes, Golden Globe Foundation board members box effort to return the unlawfully transferred funds, and concludes the Penske Trust crippled the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. So right here, Golden Globes LLC in September 2025 sent a letter to the Golden Globes Foundation demanding that the Golden Globes certify they would not fund the Hollywood Foreign Press Association in confidential matter, despite Golden Globes Foundation's obligation to do so pursuant to the assignment. Right, so basically they just broke the deal. No, it was ratified. Right, so we talked about this here: Hollywood Trade Publications, Secondary Awards, and Major Entertainment Award for your consideration of advertising. They have a monopoly on that, allegedly. Hollywood Trade Publications have a distinct customer base, serving as the primary source for authoritative entertainment industry trade journalism relied on by industry professionals, including studios, executives, producers, talent, lawyers, agents, and awards voters. Right. The unique characteristics of these of these publications, such as their focus on Hollywood studios, entertainment industry trends, and trade-specific reporting, distinguishes them from general news outlets and other forms of media. They provide business-to-business news, award coverage for consideration platforms target at film, television, music, and streaming industry professionals. Year-round editorial coverage of award show season across print, digital, and video platforms, often enhanced by data analytics rather, and interactive industry tools to seamless interplay between editorial content and entertainment-related advertising. It says here that the extent of Penske's market control has reached such levels that even editorial hiring choices have become essentially meaningless, a reality explicitly acknowledged by industry commentary, including one article that noted it doesn't matter whether the top editor of the Hollywood Report is a former editor of the Los Angeles Times or former top editor for the Associated Press, or both. Most of the editorial competition for Hollywood Trade News or the other Penske Media core publications located in the nearby floor of Penske Hollywood's offices, right? So there's like the Hollywood Report floor, the Variety floor, the Deadline floor, the Rolling Stone floor, the Billboard floor. So instead of each one having its own headquarters, they just consolidate all of them into one. And there's a lot of money in awards coverage, obviously, in terms of advertising itself, just it is. Secondary awards, right here, are the entertainment industry premier awards in the United States that recognize accomplishment in film, television, music, stage, podcast, and streaming content creation. So these are the big ones. The first one is EGOT, Emmys, Grammys, Oscars, and Tonys. Average viewership of 5 million to at least 20 million views. Right here, studies and reports indicate that Oscar winners can receive a 20% pay increase in their next films, and male Oscar winners have historically experienced a near 81% rise in baseline salary. After winning a Grammy, an artist immediately commands more bargaining power with respect to royalties and creative control. And a study by Forbes found that winning a Grammy increased concert ticket sales and producer fees by at least 55% in the year following the win. According to Forbes, an Emmy can boost credibility of an entire network or streaming platform, with viewership for some programs increasing by 100% or more after Emmy wins. Emmy-winning actors often command higher salaries, and in some instances have renegotiated contract increases of almost 300%. Similarly, after winning a Tony Award, an actor can see cash bumps, permanent salary increases, and significantly enhanced bargaining power. According to the study out of Yeshiva University, Tony nominations reflect not just artistic merit, but real economic value, as the show's weekly revenue can go up by 20% when it features a multiple Tony Award nominee, and by 100,000 to 200,000 after the show itself receives a Tony nomination. A Tony Award for Best Musical can add anywhere from 6 months to a year and a half to run, according to her reporter. The secondary awards, these have an average readership of 1 million to 10 million. These include the Golden Globe Awards, the Actor Awards, the Screen Actors Guild Awards, the American Academy of Country Music Awards, the Country Music Awards, Billboard Music Awards, American Music Awards, MTV Awards, Critics' Choice Awards, Latin American Music Awards, BET Awards, and Streaming Awards. Secondary awards are valued as a predictive campaign or tool or precursor marketing expense to increase the statistical probability of winning a Big Four award, a promotional tool, and a mechanism to facilitate short-term increases in commercial volume. Unlike the Big Four award standard, Hollywood talent contracts do not feature automatic financial escalator for winning a secondary award. Secondary awards generally do not translate to contract leverage and cannot alter the structural baseline of a worker's minimum compensation, because market participants such as studios and actors cannot substitute a Golden Globe or a streaming award to achieve the contractual, structural, or library valuation impacts of an Oscar or an Emmy. There is zero cross elasticity of demand between these two separate economic submarkets. The Golden Globes are widely considered to be the most valuable and prestigious secondary award, acting as a major high-profile precursor to the Oscars. According to Penske Media's website, the Golden Globes average around average about 9 million viewers and 178 million engagements across TV, digital, social media platforms. In comparison, the Penske Media owned Academy of Country Music Awards average approximately 7 to 8 million viewers and 60 million views across Penske Media owned and operated social media accounts. On the Penske Media owned Billboard Awards, average approximately 6 to 7 million views and 108 million engagements across TV, digital, social media platforms. Penske Media owned American Music Awards, 5 to 6 million viewers and 161 million views across Penske Media owned and operated social media accounts. The Latin Music Awards, approximately 5 million viewers. The Penske Media owned Streaming Awards average approximately 15 million live stream viewers, which it's been a while since we've seen a streaming awards. I'm not going to sit here up front. The Actors Awards average approximately 1.5 million viewers. Country Music Awards approximately 6 million viewers. MTV Awards approximately 5 to 6 million viewers. BET Awards average approximately 8 million viewers, and the Critics' Choice Awards average 700,000 viewers. So broadcasting rights for in the market for secondary awards are licensed to media companies for millions of dollars annually, reflecting their substantial commercial value. Ceremonies for secondary awards further generate significant advertising revenue, with a 30-second spot commanding at least $100,000 on average, right? So this is like a really good lawsuit because it does give a lot of teeth. For the industry. So check this out. Through Penske Media, they own 6 of the 10 secondary award shows, but through his acquisition of the Golden Globe Awards, including through collusion with Pauline Borley, Ulrich Gawker, and the Golden Globes Foundation, the Hollywood Foreign Press Association is informed and believes that his market share of advertising revenue now exceeds 8% of that relevant market. Good damn. They account for even a larger share of advertising revenue due to the popularity of the Golden Globes, which has historically generated roughly $42 million to more than $100 million of advertising revenue compared to red carpet coverage. And then, of course, the 4-year consideration advertising. These are strategically targeted at major entertainment awards hosted by studios production companies to promote their films, TV shows, and performances for awards consideration, with many of the print advertisements placed in domestic Hollywood trade publications. So right here, Variety, Hollywood Report, and Deadline are the premier Hollywood trades. So for the websites for the premier Hollywood trades, they receive over 53 million monthly page views. For information and belief, these trades receive more than approximately 80 to 90% of 4-year consideration advertising revenue, and therefore control more than approximately 80 to 90% of the 4-year consideration advertising market. Good damn. Rolling Stone receives approximately 12 million monthly page views. IndieWire approximately receives 21 million monthly page views, and Billboard receives approximately 12 million monthly page views. So Penske, through Penske Media, owns all these publications with exception to the Wrap. So the Wrap is an independent platform to this day, which is amazing. And the Wrap really does get some great reporting. They really do. Estimates show during the 2022 Oscar season alone, $53 million was spent on 4-year consideration advertisements just by the top 5 movie studios. Now, I want to go back to something for a minute here, right? If you own 6 of the 10 secondary awards and you own most of the publications, right, that's covering Hollywood, you're basically dictating the culture of who gets awards. 6 out of 10, you own the award show industry at that point. I'm just giving my opinion, okay? I said that the Hollywood Foreign Press Association deserves at least $50 million because there is some truth here. There is definitely some truth here. In sum, or information and belief, the market for your consideration advertising is worth approximately 500 million to more than $1 billion per year. And Penske, through Penske Media ownership of the Premier Hollywood Trades and secondary Hollywood Trades, controlled more than 80% of that market. Penske's consolidation of Hollywood trade publications leaves no effective alternatives for studios and distributors seeking to reach reward voters, effectively granting Penske and Penske Media Group the ability to control pricing and exclude competitors from the market for your consideration advertising. Penske's consolidation further creates significant barriers to entry for competitors, further entrenching its market power. That's factual. I agree with that. I mean, we all we gotta do is go back to Carlos Watson and how most of the advertisers was investing into Ozzy. I remember when Roland Martin said that advertisers, they didn't want to give him any money, right? Because it was about the numbers, this, that, and third, but he was too black for them, right? As one outlet reported, with his acquisition of the Hollywood Report and Billboard in 2020, Penske united nearly all the Hollywood trade publications under one roof and became the biggest player in entertainment industry news media. The report went on to refer to Penske as a near monopolist in the lucrative business for consideration awards advertising. Penske market domination has only grown since then, leading another publication more recently to recognize that the Penske empire is a monopoly. So Penske Media owns all the major Hollywood trade publications, including Hollywood Report, Variety, Rolling Stone, Billboard, Vibe, Deadline, and Wire. So 60 million monthly video views and approximately 30 million monthly page views, 14.5 million average uniquely monthly views for the Hollywood Reporter. Riot receives 24 million monthly average visitors and an average 78 million monthly page views. Penske Media touted that either Martin Scorsese described Variety as the single most formidable trade publication ever. With respect to Deadline, Penske Media reports that it receives more than 49 million monthly page views as the authoritative source for breaking entertainment industry news. As to IndieWire, Penske Media has stated that IndieWire reports on, defines, and elevates the best of film and TV as a go-to source for creators and consumers to discover voices. IndieWire champions contenders to the award committee through, among other things, year-round awards coverage and premium editorial franchises. IndieWire has received at least 21 million monthly page views. Of course, Penske Media owns Art News, Women's Wear Daily, Art and Media Billboard charts, Dick Clark Productions, Art Forum, South by Southwest, She Media, Vox Media, which they just got. Okay, we talked about that here on the show. And all the publications, including Vox, SB Nation, New York Magazine, The Dodo, The Verge, South by Southwest Sydney, South by Southwest London, Rob Report, and Dick Clark's New Year's Rocket Eve, which they've owned for a while through Dick Clark Productions. Penske Media has recently admitted core files that Penske Media content engages a monthly audience of more than 120 million visitors in the United States alone. As noted above, Penske Media owns numerous secondary awards, including Golden Globes, the Academy of Country Music Awards, and the American Music Awards, the Billboard Music Awards, the Streaming Awards, and the Latin American Music Awards. So Illuminate Data, according to Penske website, Illuminate Data is the preeminent entertainment data insights company unleashing access to the most essential, objective, and trustworthy information across music, film, and television, with data compiled from hundreds of verified sources. Today, the company maintains its more than 30-year legacy of accurate storytelling by powering the iconic Billboard music charts, while also acting as the premier database for the film and television industries. And then, of course, right here, award show prediction company Gold Derby Media. Gold Derby is the original award show authority tracking the most competitive races in entertainment with predictions, analysis, and news, including Academy Awards, Emmys, Golden Globes, Grammys, Tonys, and more. Gold Derby compiles predictions from the industry's top award pundits alongside editors and users to ensure the highest degree of accuracy for nominations and wins. So they combined it, Foley and Penske combined the publishing elements of their respective businesses into a joint venture referred to PMRC, Media Rights Capital Penske. More information and belief at Relevant Times PMRC owned Variety and the Hollywood Reporter. Penske, through his partnership with Elrich Industries, has ownership in the film and TV production companies A24, MRC, and Full Entertainment. Full Entertainment is James Gordon's production company, and alongside LeBron James as well. Right here, although Bonley told the media his plan for revamping the Hollywood Foreign Press Association was to promote transparency and integrity in the Golden Globes. Penske, after taking charge of the Golden Globes, almost immediately began turning them into a pay-to-play platform to advance his and Bonley's profiteering scheme. So, payola, plug-ola, show-ola. Los Angeles Times recently reported that today's for-profit Golden Globes may well be worse than ever, crossing the line in ways that are more egregious than the allegations that hindered the Hollywood Foreign Press Association in 2021. So, in or around September 2024, the Penske Trust, via its trade publication Variety, launched the Variety Golden Globe Salon Dinner Series, where it sold exorbitantly priced dinners that offer access to Golden Globes voters. According to media reports, the dinners cost $70,000 a piece. Good damn. On information and belief, the Penske Trust began charging potential movie studios a $5,000 per project administration fee and a project placed on the Golden Globe streaming platform. The studio that submits 14 titles were offered better display treatment on the portal. So let's do 5,000 times 14. 5,000 times 14. That's $70,000. So a student got paid $70,000 to have 14 titles on the platform. Good damn. More information and belief, the Penske Trust offer Golden Globes tickets for $70,000 each via a concierge gift guide. This luxury lifestyle magazine, The Rob Report. $70,000 for one ticket? Just give me the 70K. Just give me the 70K. I'm good. So of course, this was something new that happened at the Golden Globes. There was a new Best Podcast category being added to the Golden Globes in October 2025. The Golden Globes announced that 25 podcasts were eligible for the award. That eligibility was determined by Illuminate, the Penske Trust Media, Penske Trust Entertainment Data Insights Company. More information and belief through Illuminate, the Penske Trust made popular financial resources core criteria for eligibility. The Penske Trust did this to create unlawful barrier to entry so that only contestants who could afford to purchase major entertainment award for your consideration advertisements from the Penske Trust would be eligible for the award. So basically, if I didn't get advertising through Variety, Brainley's virtual tour could not be eligible for Best Podcast. Now, this show is not a podcast, ladies and gentlemen. This is a show, right? With a intro.
Lights go low, the city goes high. Stories untold under moonlit skies. Pray lonely, got the vibe, got the flow for the culture. Yeah, you already know. Turn it up, lean back, feel the breeze. Late night truths drifting through the trees. It's for the culture, by the culture. Brainley's got the soul to show ya. Breaking it down, lifting it higher. Feel the rhythm, spark the fire. Headlines flip with a soulful twist. Behind the scenes where the magic sits. It's the heartbeat of the now and the then, where the story starts and never ends. Tune in, lean and feel the groove. Every moment, a vibe you can't lose. It's for the culture, by the culture. Brainley's got the soul to show you. Breaking it down, lifting it higher. Feel the rhythm, spark the fire.
Like I said, that intro. Then, of course, the star of the show. Hello to you, and you, the show itself. And then, of course, there is a outro, right? The show is not over. I'm just showcasing the outro right now. Of course, you can download this as an audio podcast without the video. Video podcasts are huge nowadays, right? And you could say I've done over 1,000 video podcasts. Now, I have a good friend of mine who said that I should put this into the podcasting side of it, which means say 1,000 episodes, put it in the podcast category. But here's the thing, though. Podcasting to me is more about having more of a finite environment with two microphones or however many microphones making it do what do. A show is like what we're doing now. We're doing a show, right? I have content for you. We're talking about it. There is a synergy of back and forth energy. That's different than a podcast. A podcast is more of a one directional channel. A show is a multi-dimensional conversation, right? So that's just what I think about podcasting. I have nothing but respect for podcasters too, but this is not podcasting. Which, oh my God. As the Los Angeles Times report, the real motivation behind the podcast category became apparent soon after the 25 eligible podcasts were announced. Specifically, Variety had sales team pitched nominate podcasts an array of paid marketing partnerships, including $25,000 to become a podcasting for your consideration fast boring partner and a $75,000 deal for podcasters given the Variety Creative Impact Award in podcasting. Oh, so this would be like just how like Young Miami got the Carisha Please podcast to win an award that was paid for by Diddy. Got it. In contrast, when the Hollywood Foreign Press Association offered in-person for your consideration events, studios only paid to reserve the space, as the primary benefit to the Hollywood Foreign Press Association was exclusive access to its members, from which they derived their journalistic content. When Penske took on, not only did they deprive the Hollywood Foreign Press Association of the access, but he began charging the exorbitant prices referenced above, which represents an exponential price increase. Charging these super competitive prices was one of the primary goals of Penske and Bowley's anti-competitive conduct. So Variety, Harport, and Deadline sold the podcast for your consideration packages. Gold Derby, the awards predictions website, also participate in the podcast for your consideration racket by selling paid video interviews to eligible contestants. So they have a monopoly, competitive monopoly for your consideration advertising through its trades of Variety, Harport, and Deadline. And so also too, by securing the Golden Globes, the popular most secondary award, the Penske Trust was able to solidify a vertical monopoly and generate enough leverage to introduce market participants to buy exorbitantly priced for your consideration packages from Penske trades. This pay-to-play system is open, and tourist reports knowing that people who are likely to get worked up about this are the publicists who can't pay to play. Penske controls the awards, the coverage of the awards, and seeks to earn money from the people competing for the awards. It's a perfect circle of not only conflict of interest with the appearance of the extortion racket, other publications from the Ankler to the New York Times page, except for consideration ads. The crucial distinction is that they do not own the show they are covering, nor do they control the voting or its voters. So they are actually just an entity to showcase what's happening. So when you control who gets the awards, the coverage of the awards, of who looking good, who looking bad, and you're earning money from all these people giving you money so you can put them in the position where you want to, based on your coverage and based on what wins will make the award show get the most coverage. I'm maybe kind of bumping up the Hollywood Foreign Press Association's amount to now $75 million now. They're making some sense here. they're making some sense here. The control and conflicts of interest are glaring. Penske-owned trade publications promote Penske-owned contenders for Penske-owned award predicted by a Penske-owned website. Penske has unlawfully inducted journalists to abandon their participation in competing secondary awards. For example, as condition of the APA Eldridge mandated that Howard Foreign Press Association members forfeit their Critics' Choice credentials, thereby eliminating their voting rights in the Critics' Choice Awards, the CCA, a direct comparator to the Golden Globes. Not only was this a direct restriction on the Critics' Choice Awards, but it greatly restricted the journalists who complied with that mandate. The Hollywood Foreign Press Association members complied with this exclusionary demand based on the express promise that they will retain lifetime Golden Globes voting rights, lifetime tickets to the Golden Globes. Penske later reneged on that fundamental promise. With guaranteed voting rights only to those members who accepted direct employment with the Penske Trust. Even then, were now restricted to a narrow window from 2026 to 2028, after which the employment members must reapply annually with no assurance of readmission. Even a more egregious restraint on the trade has been imposed upon these Howard Foreign Press Association members who declined to accept or retain employment with the Penske Trust. Those independent journalists were immediately stripped of their promised lifetime voting status and are now compelled to reapply annually to participate as Golden Globes voters with no guarantee of acceptance or readmission. By coercing journalists to trade their permanent CCA credentials will prove to be merely a temporary extension of Golden Globes voting rights. Penske orchestrated a calculated double loss from the forfeiture of CCA credentials eliminated these journalists' alternative income streams and professional opportunities in the competitive awards market, including opportunities to compete with Penske, while the failure to deliver on the promise of lifetime Golden Globes access has left them vulnerable to annual exclusion at Penske's discretion. The net result is that these journalists surrendered long-term career security, market access, and ability to compete with Penske's trades for temporary reprieve that can be revoked at will, leaving them at substantial risk of total and exclusion from major trade industry voting bodies, at all to serve Penske's ultimate objective to maintain control of voters and members of the press who also cover the entertainment awards market. Right here, while other journalists suffer, Penske's Hollywood trade publications benefit directly from its monopolies and anti-competitive conduct. For example, at the 2026 Golden Globes, journalists who previously enjoyed exclusive access to the event was barred from the event entirely, and exclusive access was granted to journalists from Penske's trades. And in or around May 2026, Penske announced that members of the domestic press, i.e. Penske employees, are now eligible to vote for Golden Globes, a right that was historically reserved for members of the foreign press. With the Hollywood Foreign Press Association stripped of that leverage that once enabled to protect members of the foreign press and on the verge of complete destruction as a result of Penske and Golden Globes Foundation's anti-competitive conduct, Hollywood Foreign Press Association members are now more vulnerable than ever, deprived of the journalistic access and income that came with Golden Globe voting rights, which has now shifted to Penske trades. And also, too, the Penske Trust has endeavored to chill competition by retaliating against journalists who dare to speak out against its anti-competitive conduct. According to at least one independent journalist / blogger who reported on this corruption, it appeared that one of Penske's reporters took down the journalist's site by writing a hit piece on them. The journalist added that other bloggers will be wise to watch their backs because if Penske is worried about anybody else getting a piece of their pie, even a tiny slice, all he has to do is start knocking out competition. First cause of action, antitrust violation under the Sherman Act, monopolization. So the monopolization for the market of Hollywood trade publications, the market for secondary awards, and the market for foreign consideration advertising. And of course, right here, ensuring that the Penske Trust owned films produced by A24 and MRC media right to capital receive top awards at the Golden Globes, using Penske's Hollywood trade publications to influence the value of the Golden Globes in order to further expand and enhance Penske monopoly over the secondary awards. At all relevant times, Penske Media possess and maintain monopoly power irrelevant. Marcus Penske and Penske Media control a dominant share of these markets, exceeding 78% of total industry spend during the annual award season cycle. I'm just giving you the overview, everybody, of all this here. Second cause of action, antitrust violation under the Sherman Act, attempted monopolization. Hang on, y'all. Okay, so this is interesting. Golden Globes ends policy of paying 50 voting members $75,000 salaries. That was out February 28th, 2025 from the Los Angeles Times. And then on December 8th column, the Golden Globes ethics are worse than ever and no one seems to care. So yeah. My God. Okay. So, of course, here, relevant markets, the market for Hollywood trade publications, the market for secondary awards, and the market for your consideration advertising. So, right here, I'm structuring awards in a manner that excludes anyone from the market, that excludes from the market anyone who cannot or will not purchase for your consideration advertisers from Penske's trades to control the market for those advertisers who their monopoly on the trades that they issue. That issue the 4-year consideration packages. 3, implement pay-to-play mechanisms that enrich defendants while inhibiting access to the fairness of award shows, using Penske Trust monopoly on Hollywood trade publications to properly influence award circuit, inducing journalists to withdraw from competing secondary awards, ensuring that the Penske Trust own produced films by A24 Media Rights Capital received top awards at Golden Globes, using Penske Hollywood trade publications to influence the value of Golden Globes in order to further expand and enhance Penske's monopoly over secondary awards, using Penske data company Illuminate to serve as a gatekeeper for award consideration, using Penske award prediction company Golden Derby to dominate the market on award show odds, making and further exerting proper influence on award circuit, excluding award blowers not all associated with Penske Trust. Let me see something. Just want to see something. Just look at something, y'all. Okay. I'm trying to find something. Okay, so this is what it was, right? So right here, CBS and Paramount Plus agreed, signed a 5-year deal broadcast agreement beginning in 2024, covering ceremonies at least through 2028 Golden Globes. That means the 2028 show is a part of the current TV contract, but the contract ending does not mean the awards end. It simply means a new rights agreement would need to be negotiated afterwards, right? So, just wanted to say that that was the thing I was trying to find. And I'm just showing y'all that the paperwork is real. Fifth cause of action violation of the Clayton Act, unlawful corporate acquisition. At all relevant times, Penske Media, and the Highway Foreign Press Association were engaged in commercial activities affecting interstate commerce and subject to the jurisdiction of the Federal Trade Commissions. Sixth cause of action violation of the Cartwright Act, unlawful restraint on trade, which means all of the publications, right? So, Deadline, Variety, Hollywood Reporter, Rolling Stone, IndieWire, Gold Derby, all of them. Seventh cause of action, unfair trade practices. The purpose of Section 17,000 SEC rather is to safeguard the public against the creation or perpetration of monopolies and to foster and encourage competition by prohibiting unfair, dishonest, deceptive, destructive, fraudulent, and discriminatory practices by which is fair and honest competition is destroyed or prevented. Right here, of course, is the same thing that they talked about with films from A24 and MRC Media Rights Capital to get top awards. Eighth cause of action, unfair competition. Ninth cause of action, rescission and cancellation of assignment. Assignment unlawful due to fraud, violations of the state and federal antitrust laws, and legal malpractice. Once a contract has been found to be void, to cancel, plaintiff is entitled to restitution of all monies paid, including closing costs, interest, and principal payments. So they did cancel 50 voting members from getting paid $75,000. So those who deserve their money. 10th cause of action, rescission and cancellation of assignment tainted by APA fraudulent inducement. Eleventh cause of action. Good damn, 11 causes here. Recession, cancellation of assignment, breach of fiduciary duty, home. So they are blaming the president of the Golden Globes Association, basically colluding to destroy the organization, basically. 12th cause of action, Bowen Lee, becoming becoming the CEO of the Golden Globes Foundation. 13th cause of action, tainted by legal malpractice and breach of fiduciary against defendant Golden Globes Foundation. So they're hitting everybody. Assignment unlawful, void, and unenforceable. 14th cause of action. 15th cause of action, fraudulent misrepresentation. 16th cause of action, transaction void for violation of corporate authority. 17th cause of action, unjust enrichment. 18th cause of action, imposition of constructive trust. 19th cause of action, legal malpractice and breach of fiduciary of care against defendant Gargner. 20th cause of action, breach of fiduciary duty of loyalty. Wow. And prayer for relief. They want damages in amounts to be determined at trial, but at least $150 million. Treble damages, rescission, and or cancellation of assignment, injunctive relief, pre and post judgment, interest at the maximum rate allowed by law. We have damages and amounts to be determined by trial, attorneys' fees, costs as allowed by law, and such other and further relief as the court deems just, proper, and equitable. Plaintiff hereby demands jury trial all issues and causes of action trial by jury. And then there are the attorneys for the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. Child, 113 pages. I think they have a legitimate lawsuit. I do. Now, y'all know I read news from Variety, I read news from Hollywood Report, I read news from Deadline all the time, right? The Wrap I read here and there, you know what I mean? But they do have good articles, they do. I usually use the Wrap as like a jump off point, but not the main point, but they are part of the coverage. We pulled up Wrap articles before. Remember that article under Wayne Rod Johnson being late to the set, everyone that hits P-balls and everything? My God. I do think they have a legitimate lawsuit here. I think that there is something in the Kool-Aid that is sweet when you can dictate not just the coverage of award show season. That's one thing. But when you own a secondary award show that is the kickoff to award show season, and whoever wins at the Golden Globes, that can and usually and will determine who wins the Emmy, the Grammy, the Oscar, the Tonys. That says a lot. And then you have a prediction website that they can talk about the predictions, and the predictions can influence the coverage, and the coverage can influence who wins. Yeah, that's a monopoly. I just got to keep it a buck. Now, do I believe 150 million is going to be out of this? Not really. I think the most that they should probably get is probably about 75 to 85 million dollars. 95 million is being very generous. And I think 130 is like right there in the sweet spot. But my guess will probably be $75 million. So a lot going on in Hollywood. It never ceases for anybody. We're going to take a little bit of commercial break. We'll be back right after this. We are live on tour. Like, comment, share, subscribe. We'll be back right after this. Roll, everybody.
Lights go low, the city goes high. Stories untold under moonlit skies. Brave lonely, got the vibe, got the flow for the culture. Yeah, you already know. Turn it up, lean back, feel the breeze. Echoes of stories where we're from. A beat, a step, a voice so clear. The pulse of us, it's all right here. We got soul, we got flavor. Every moment is a savior. Every experience is an overcomer. Turn it up, feel the glow, let the rhythm flow. Spotlight shining, we in the zone. This is the place where the culture's grown. Stories untold, now they're coming alive. Braylon Lee got the vibe tonight. One thing to know and two things for sure. Higher is waiting and lower is available. But either way, we gotta go on tour. It's Braylon Lee's virtual tour, where the culture makes its move. Feel the love, feel the truth. This is us, this is you. From the unknown, the unembraced and more. This show, this brand, and the possibilities of what can be is all here for you. I'm just a kid from the rock, trying to be a rock for people, trying to make it best they can to become. Being moved as a creator of power, to lift up all of us, not just a selective few. For the culture, by the culture, here we be, Braylon Lee, bringing life to your screen. Feel the soul, feel the truth, we're free, trust and believe. It's entertainment, news done away with. Braylon Lee, spotlight sharp like a diamond shine. We see the stars, but the stories align. Deep in the soul where the heartbeats find. The pulse of the people redefining time. Just a pro tip, people have to earn the right to hear your story, but in addition to the people have to earn the responsibility to be a part of it. Just because we are not seen by everybody doesn't mean we are not been seen by who needs to see us. Noise equals attention and sound equals purpose. Anybody can be a creator, but it takes a somebody to be an artist.
Beyond this gate, find gardens green and epic worlds to fill your dreams.
really no secret about our approach. We keep moving forward,
with the hope that it will be a source of joy and inspiration to all the world.
In Disney's 102-year history, there have been many defining moments and countless achievements. Today, we celebrate another thrilling moment, the creation of a spectacular new Disney theme park resort coming to Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi is a place where heritage meets innovation, a place where we preserve our past while designing the future.
Bringing a Disney theme park resort to Yas Island, Abu Dhabi, marks a historic milestone in our journey as a global family destination.
The 7th Disney theme park resort destination represents a new frontier in theme park ambitions. Our resort in Abu Dhabi will be the most advanced and interactive destination in our entire portfolio. The location of our park is incredibly unique. It's anchored by a beautiful waterfront, which will allow us to tell our stories in completely new ways. Ultimately, this project will be a celebration of what's possible when creativity and progress come together.
What we are creating with Disney in Abu Dhabi is a whole new world of imagination and experience that will inspire generations across the region and the world.
This collaboration represents a powerful fusion of Disney's unmatched legacy in storytelling and mirrors commitment to bringing world-class entertainment to our guests.
Abu Dhabi's vision for the future is to create a legacy for generations to come.
Disneyland Abu Dhabi will be authentically Disney and distinctly Emirati. An oasis of extraordinary Disney entertainment at this crossroads of the world. It will bring to life our timeless characters and stories in many new ways, becoming a source of joy and inspiration for the people of this vast region to enjoy for generations to come.
Caesar. Just look at him. Politician. General. Author. Ruler. Man. Legend has it, he's not only stared into the belly of the beast, he's had it for dinner. Here he's free to relax, or party, or relax, or party, or relax, and party. His is a world of opulence, excess, and the occasional impulse buy. Not one to rest on his laurels, he's famous for ushering in a new age of entertainment. So, for anyone seeking a place where the sun never sets on a good time, all this awaits.
I am Caesar, and I approve this palace.
I'm loving it. McDonald's. I'm loving it. McDonald's. I'm loving it.
I love you so much. I tell you thrice. Welcome back into Brightly's Virtual Tour Live. And just to give you the utmost fairness, because we do showcase our receipts, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let me just show you here. Variety covered it. This is owned by Penske Media Group. And then right here is where I got the lawsuit. I click that. It takes you literally to the lawsuit that I just read. So we're actual, factual, and smacktual over here. So here it is here. Just to show you the article, right? I am being as fair and balanced as I can. You know what I mean? Because this is a very tangled web, right? Also, the Hollywood Reporter also report on this, right? So and right here, the purpose of the meeting was to be offered a severance of $102,500 as the Globe phased out its model of paying its awards voters, right? Right there, okay. Just got that building right here, and then, of course, deadline.com, ladies and gentlemen, right here, okay. So I don't want to hear from anybody that, oh, Braylon is this, that, and the third, and he's kissing Hollywood's ass, and this, that, and the third. Y'all, I did this because this is a very important destination. And by the way, if you love the thumbnail, okay, let's look at the thumbnail. And by the way, shout out to the one, the only Kendra G and the Oprah Winfrey Network. They just did a new show called Dating Download. That just ended 2 minutes ago. It looks like it is a 15-minute episode, and it looks like episode 2 is 14 minutes, right? So 30 minutes should be the minimum. I agree. But you know what that's going, but you know what that's showing though? It's showing that OWN believes in producing content for the digital age, right? So, you know, just keeping it a buck. Very, very interesting there. Shout out to Kendra G and Dating Download here. And of course, there is a there's another episode going on right now. So that's about a 15-minute episode. So hopefully they'll expand Dating Download, because 15 minutes is not really a show me. It's almost like 3 Quibi episodes put into one, right? Like I said, when it comes to this, I believe that the beginning, middle, end of the day, everybody should be responsible for what they say, they do, and how they move. Yeah, this lawsuit's not going away. Not to mention, too, the Los Angeles Times has reported on the Golden Globes, so I'm sure that they will be a part of this lawsuit in terms of discovery and the evidence that will be entered into this lawsuit. Like I said, y'all, it's definitely a big swing, but I think they have found, some 1 + 2 = 3 energy. Now, what do I think could happen to Penske Media Group? What do I actually think could happen? Do I think Penske Media Group is going to wait? Fuck no. It's not going away. But as we saw earlier this summer with Live Nation and Ticketmaster, they were found to be guilty of being an illegal monopoly for the ticketing industry. So we don't know if they have to break up still or not. I think that's still in progress of the negotiations of that. But could this mean that Dick Clark Productions be up for sale? Absolutely. Could this mean the Golden Globes be up for sale? Absolutely, absolutely right. Now, personally, what I would do, and I know this is a big swing, but you know the Dolby Theater. If I'm the president of the Dolby Company, right, I would buy Dick Clark Productions and the Golden Globes. I'm gonna tell you why. For one, the Golden Globes could be at the Dolby Theater every year because you own the property. Number two, you get all the content, right? So imagine American Bandstand coming back at the Dolby Theater, right? Live Friday nights at 8, 7 Central on ABC. And number three, you can make the Dolby Entertainment Network, or DEN, showcasing the power of sound, how do I put it? Showcasing the sound of culture through sitcoms, through dramas, through dramedies, through unscripted content, live events. The Dolby Entertainment Network. You're welcome, Dolby. I just put you in the media game. That's what I do. Clock the T, 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 clock that T. Okay? All right. So that is pretty much it for me. I'm gonna turn on my camera now because we've done the whole show for over 2 hours. Just we have. A lot going on, like I said. I don't think Penske Media Group is going away anytime soon. I'm trying to see if the Hollywood Foreign Press is still around, because they said it was a defunct organization, I'm assuming. So I'm trying to see if they have a website still. Yeah, it was. Okay, so it was. So now it is the Golden Globes Foundation. Okay. So I'm guessing these are some former members, right? So very, 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 very interesting. Child. Jesus. And the crazy thing is, where the Golden Globes air, Paramount Skydance is in a standstill of a merger until June 1st of 2027. Child. Crazy, 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 crazy. My God, my God, my God, my God, my God, my God, my God. Man, I know that they're shaking over there. I do know that much. Like I said, I do think that there is something sweet in the Kool-Aid here with this. I really, really do. And like I said, 113 pages. You can't just make up a 113-page lawsuit and nothing has weight in the lawsuit. Okay, there just ain't no way. Now you can do that, and then be a malogograms, toss away K, always a loser, or DL whisperer, or thirsty toxicity, child, or any delusional man that did too damn much with a celebrity. But what's the point of doing a 113-page lawsuit only to just lose? You know what I mean? So yeah, we'll chill out here for a little bit. We'll end the show at 2 hours and 30 minutes. Like I said, tomorrow I will be off from YouTube, of course. So please enjoy your time, everybody. Unless there's something in the culture that pops off, or if there's something I want to talk about in the culture, for sure. So. Yep, we are just chillaxing. So hopefully you guys had a good day today. Yep, just chillaxing, everybody. We are live on tour. Just got done talking about a huge lawsuit, and like I said, you guys really love the thumbnail. That's what I was going to show you on the thumbnail. Give me a moment. Okay, let's see here. So here is the thumbnail. Let me see if I can zoom in on it here. And you know, I wanted this thumbnail to be like very like pristine. So as you can see here, that's Nikki Glazer. And I just wanted something that was just dynamic. So when you saw this thumbnail, I was like, damn. And I said, so lying about ties, you have to own the platform. I mean, 47 does it all the time, and he does. Oh, I don't have any ties to this, but yet he does. So, you know, just very, very, very interesting destination. So, like I said, I covered it in the fullness of it. Showcase that even Penske Media is covering this thing. So, listen, I don't want to be banned and this, that, and third for reporting the news. If it's in the timeline, if it's on the timeline, if it's in the group chat, and if everybody's giving commentary on it, then at that point, I should as well. Amen. Amen. Let's do some daily motivated stuff here. Here we go. 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 I prayed for 20 years but received no answer until I answered with my legs, Frederick Douglass. You gotta be your own answer to your own prayer sometimes. Amen to that. Shout out to Frederick Douglass for sure. It's time for the day motivated rally for Wednesday, July 29th, 2026. Go ahead now. Whether or not you feel like doing something before you do it is besides the point. Instead, consider how much better you'll feel after you've done it. Envision yourself getting it done, getting it behind you. That's the way to feel like doing it. The more Oh, excuse me. Sorry, y'all. Oh, Lord. Those damn allergies, child. Okay, sorry, y'all. Let me get back to it here. The more difficult and burdensome the task, the more of a positive difference it will make to have it completed. Rather than avoiding it any longer, go ahead and claim that value. Remind yourself of the reward that exists on the other side. Effort, let the desire for that reward take precedence over your urge to escape the work. Sooner or later, you won't have any choice. You'll need to do it. So while you have the choice, make the one that's best for you in the present and in the future. Go ahead now and get done, Ralph Wilson. Let's talk about go ahead now. When I think about that, as I often say, every destination that we have covered, I've allowed the day to form as it needs to be. That can be very tricky because the media industry, the Hollywood, the media industry, the entertainment industry, and the industry of the culture never ceases for anybody. So sometimes I may just be, and I wake up and I see I gotta go live, right? So I think the best thing to recognize is you don't have to jump on everything right away. You can let things breathe. That's the first thing I want to tell you. By allowing things to breathe, you can figure out how to move accordingly, right? That's the first thing I want to tell you. The second thing I want to tell you is this. Remind yourself of the reward that exists on the other side of effort. Like I said before, if you don't ever do the work, how will you know you can be successful? If you don't ever do the work, how do you know you can be successful? If you don't do the work, how do you know that you can be successful? Everybody in life has been a failure before. Everybody in life has been a failure before. Everybody in life, including myself, has been a failure before at something. But here's the gag. If you do not try, you will always fail. If you do not try, you will always fail. If you do not try, you will always fail. And finally, the third thing I want to tell you is this. Sooner or later, you won't have a choice. You will need to do it. Make sure that you always are make sure you're always in a space, in a state where you always have options. Make sure you want to do something, not just because you need to do it, right? So that's the third thing I want to tell you, and that is it for me. With that being said, it's time for the best outro on YouTube. Know what you do, know what you do, and do what you know. Rather, never say one more special because you will always want a blessing. The trust you may not be where you want to be, but by the end of it, you'll be where you need to be. Do what you've been chosen to do. Wise one thing. Call yourself is nothing. Chosen. One love, much love, all love. I have spent time with you. You have spent time with me. Hopefully, I spend time together. Rise, be great together. And always remember, we're doing radio, television, YouTube. Live your best life, or child. You know the industry just as well as them. But you're grateful that Hollywood and how people are getting information is changing. Make sure the replay is not just for if you watch it, not just for if you listen to it, but if you want to experience it again. I love you. I value you. I embrace you. I always remember, see love you gotta give it, or see love you gotta give it, or see love you gotta give it. Wherever obstacles will come, where success you have achieved upon this particular day. I'm extremely proud of you, but no one else is proud of you. You be proud of your damn. So finally, y'all listen. I know what you guys are thinking. How does this lawsuit affect Black Hollywood? Listen, the Emmys, the Grammys, the Oscars, the Tonys, those are predominantly white-owned award shows. Sure, there might be Black executive producing teams, like Jesse Collins Entertainment produced the Emmys, right? And Will Packer produced the Oscars. But who's in charge? And the infrastructure of how that entity moves can dictate on who rises and who falls. Just because it may not impact us now doesn't mean we don't need to be awake and paying attention to it now. because whatever we don't confront now can hurt us later. Whatever we don't confront now can hurt us later. Whatever we don't confront now can hurt us later. Commercial break and fireworks coming your way for the day that was, for the day that's come, and for the blessings on the way for you, me, and all of us as a society, as a people, as a culture. I feel the love. I'll say it right back to you. Good night, everybody. Love you all. Bye.
I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner.
Good evening. My name is Mark Woodbury. I'm the chairman and CEO of Universal Destinations and Experiences. Well, we're finally here. Tomorrow we begin a new chapter at Universal Orlando Resort as we open Epic Universe. We built this place for you. I want to thank you, our fans, for your love of our stories, characters, and immersive experiences that inspired this incredible place. Epic Universe represents over 8 years of meticulous planning, immense creativity, and innovation, combined with unmatched craftsmanship and operational excellence on the part of thousands of people who have brought to life the stories and characters that live beyond each of Epic's portals. But it represents so much more. Your love of Universal and the deep connections we've shared together here in Orlando over the past 30 years inspired us to dream bigger and to push the boundaries to create something extraordinary for you and for generations of fans and families to come. And tomorrow, as we open Epic Universe, I can't wait for you to experience this place for yourself. Now it's your turn to step inside, to lose yourself, and to share this place with the ones you love most. As we open this park, we hope your world becomes a little more epic. Tomorrow, Epic Universe becomes yours.
Are video games getting too expensive? This episode, we want to find some common ground because the CEOs want to raise the price even more.
Not with these broken-ass games.
$5 million. That's how much San Andreas costs to make. Is it their fault for selling or our fault for buying?
Corporations claim all this stuff. Devs say otherwise.
Sports gamers, cozy gamers, whatever you call the people who play Power Wash Simulator.
I think it stings a little bit more because I'm spending my actual money and my mom is not. Imagine they get rid of all movie theaters and then charge you the same price to watch the same movie at home.
That's like every streaming service. It doesn't have to be the longest of games, but am I having fun with it? This is Lex. I'm Ronell. Let's get right into it.
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.
Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content.
I've been moving on my own accord, covering Black culture. There is more to life. I heard that, friend. Braylon, shout out to Braylon. Make sure y'all go follow Braylon in case y'all haven't. I love your content. I have been moving on my own accord, covering Black culture. There is more to life. I heard that, friend. Braylon, shout out to Braylon. Make sure y'all go follow Braylon in case y'all haven't. I love your content. I I've been moving on my own accord, covering Black culture. There is more to life. I heard that, friend. Braylon, shout out to Braylon. Make sure y'all go follow Braylon in case y'all haven't. I love your content. I've been moving on my own accord, covering Black culture. There is more to life. I heard that, friend. Braylon, shout out to Braylon. Make sure y'all go follow Braylon in case y'all haven't. I love your content.
Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time.
Power 923 Jams and the Arkansas Minority Health Commission encourages you to take the COVID-19 vaccine to help keep you and your loved ones safe. Involved in our community, the People Station, Power 923 Jams. KIPR Pine Bluff, Little Rock, KFOG, Little Rock, a Cumulus Media Station. And now, back to the jams. Hip-hop. Drake.
Girls want girls where I'm from. Yeah, well, girls want girls where
R&B. J. Howell.
Just 'cause I love you and you love me.
And now, bumping back-to-back continuous music with another fresh new jam. Heard here first on the People Station, Power 923 Jams. Power 923 Jams.